Okay, this video is going to review the fundamental way that OrderTrac tracks items. It's a little different than traditional inventory software, and so it easily confuses people when they first try to understand how OrderTrac works and how it is a little bit different than other systems like QuickBooks or any other traditional inventory software you may be used to for tracking inventory. So I'm just going to do a little graphic here to kind of show how it works and how it's different. So let's take a table. Let's say we have a customer that is coming in. We'll say we're going to write up a new sale. So I'll come to the sales orders tab in OrderTrac. We're going to create a new sale. And we're going to say this is Miss Smith. So we have Miss Smith. Or actually, let's do White, Mary White. So we have Mary White. She wants to order a new table. So we're going to create a new custom order because that's what we would click when the customer's ordering something new. They're not buying it off the inventory showroom or out of the warehouse. So we'll just put in a quick price here. It's going to be delivered. And now we have the option to put in all the details. So this is an item that we may or may not have ever sold before. Doesn't matter. We're going to write up the details. So first, we're going to start with, we're going to say it's a farmhouse table. And I'm going to use the description wizard to put in some details. We'll just say it's that size. It's got 2 leaves. It's going to be a maple. And we've got this stain. And save. And that's enough. And this is, we'll say, West Point Woodworking. And then we'll give it a SKU. This is a good way to track this model to know like how many of this model we have sold. Even if the options are a little different, the model at least we can track. So we'll just say a good way to do it is to put like a vendor code, West Point Woodworking dash, and then whatever model, whatever the model number is from the vendor. We'll say that they call it the FH table. So we'll say www-fh, that's the SKU for this item. So we're going to hit save. And we can see that created a new item. So this item is unique to this exact table. And this has an item ID. It's 1142. It just generated that item ID. And this item ID is like a serial number for this exact table, Miss White's table. And this item ID is not going to be used anywhere else. So if we were to ever come across this item ID, we come look it up in OrderTrac, it's going to take us directly to this farmhouse table, ordered on June 4th. The customer is Miss White. And this is like an order ID. It tells us everything we need to know about this exact order, no other item. So that's, and we can see it starts with to be ordered. So if I go back to my little diagram here, we have this table. This new table has been created. It didn't exist before, this item. And this item is didn't exist before, and now it does. It's a brand new item. The item ID is 1142, as we saw earlier, and we have the SKU www-1, or I guess we named it FH is what it was. So here we have our new item, and it's in the to be ordered status. And so I'm going to come back over here, and we see this to be ordered status. We can see that over on the items list. We can easily look at these filters and see, okay, here's all of our items to be ordered, and right here at the top is this farmhouse table 1142. So we need to order it. It has not been ordered yet. So we click new purchase order, and that's going to generate a new purchase order and add this item to that purchase order. Here we can put in extra information like the cost of the manufacturer and who's going to be finishing and transporting it. And then we can email it or print it or fax it. And when we do that, it's going to mark it as being sent. I'm just going to manually say it's been sent because I don't need to actually email it. And so that updates that item to on order. So item ID 1142 is now on order. So if we go back to our little diagram here, we can see that item ID 1142 is now on order. It got moved automatically. So now if we ever search item ID 1142, it's going to show us that is Miss White's table, and it is on order, and it was ordered on, today. It was purchased today, and it would tell us everything about it, what the cost is and everything. So this item, once again, it's a unique to Miss White. Sorry. So now, let's say in the meantime, we go back to our sale, and we have our items. We can see if we go back to the on order list, we can see there's that farmhouse table for Miss White. Let's say in the meantime, Mr. Smith comes in. He saw that same table in an ad, and he wants to buy it too. So we're going to write a new sale, and we're going to look for Mr. Smith, and Mr. Smith wants to buy the same table. So we also don't have it in stock. We're going to order it. So we put in the details. It's actually the same details to be delivered. Now we could write it all up exactly like we did the first time, where we type in the model and we go ahead and use the description wizard to pull in to create the stain and the size and all that. Another option is we can do a quick little import. So if I say import from items, we happen to know what the item ID is, and there it is, item ID 1142. And all we're doing is saving the step of writing it up. When we know that we've sold it before, we can just select it, and it just copies the details to this item. So it didn't alter the other item at all. It didn't do anything to it. They're not related. It's just simply it pulled in all these details because it's the same thing, and saved us from typing it all up. And so we're going to hit save. Now, this is a new item. It just generated a brand new item. This item, the status is to be ordered. The item ID you'll see is 1143. That's different. The first one was 1142. So if we go back to our little example here, we see, oh, here's Mr. Smith's table. It just was generated. And this table is to be ordered, while Mr. White's table is on order. So these two items, although they're identical, they have different item IDs because they are two different items. This one is already on order and is being built. This one we have not even told the vendor about yet. So it's two separate physical items. So different item IDs, very different. They're totally separate. Now you'll notice the SKU is the same because it's the same model. So that's a good way to track, hey, we've sold two of this, West Point woodworking farmhouse table. It's a popular table. So that stays the same, but the item ID is the serial number. Two different items, two different serial numbers. So if we go back to our sale here, to be ordered, once again, we can do the same thing where we set it to on order, or we create the purchase order, which puts it on order. It would follow the same process as this farmhouse table. Now, let's say we go to our receiving tab. This is where the furniture would be received whenever the truck comes in. So let's say that we fast forward and the truck has arrived with this table on it, and we pull it off of the truck, and now we need to mark it as being received. So this is Miss White's table, and I am going to mark it as received. And so that just tells OrderTrac this is no longer on order. It is now received and ready for the customer. So if I go back to the items tab, if I look at the on order list, it's no longer on order. If I go to the customer list here, I can filter for ready for customer, and I see there's that farmhouse table. It is now received and it's ready to be delivered. So if I go back to this, we want to kind of picture this moving through the process here. We can see now this table's been received. We haven't even ordered Mr. Smith's table yet. It's still sitting on the to be ordered list. So you see how these items have to be tracked separately because they're two physical items with two physical statuses, two different customers, everything about it's two different orders. You have to think about an item as an order. And then we go back to our sale. We're going to open up the sales order. Let's say that the item has been delivered. We can just quickly update the sales status to being delivered. And so now that updates this item to closed. And so what that is doing is simply moving it to the next step, which is this table has been delivered to the customer. It's closed. It's no longer, it's just out of our hair where it's kind of hidden from view. We no longer, it's still in the system. So if we ever need to look up item ID 1142, we can see, oh, that was Miss White's table. She ordered it on this date. It was received on this date. It was delivered to our house on this date. It cost this much. This is who the finisher was. Everything. We know everything about it. Because that item ID is specific to this item, which is specific to that physical table. Whereas item ID 1143 would tell us everything about this table, even though they're the same model, two different items. So this one, obviously would follow the same process. Once you order it, create the purchase order, and it goes to on order. Once it's been received, it goes to received. And then once you deliver it to the customer, it's closed. And so now you have two tables that are closed in your history. So the closed is really just a history of all the past items that have come through your store. And so that's really all there is to it. That's how items work in OrderTrac. And that's a little hard to grasp at first because everybody kind of expects it to work like in a traditional inventory software, which does not work that way. A lot of times in traditional inventory software, an item ID is like an item ID that never changes. It's just like an item that you sell. And, let's say item ID 157, you have 3 in stock, and, a customer buys it. Well, then it just reduces it by 1. And when you order more, you just, it tracks how many you have on order. And then once you receive them, it just increases the in-stock level. And, this item ID just stays the same. That is not how OrderTrac items work. We do have a system that works like this. That is called POS items. POS items in OrderTrac work like that because that is a good system for tracking other items in your store, like accessories, food. When you order, let's say a specific lamp, and you have 4 of them in stock, and a customer buys one. Well, then now we need to track that there's only 3 in stock, and when you get low in stock, you can order more of them, and it bumps it back up to 5 in stock, and so forth. And that UPC, the barcode on the lamp, is not changing. And so that's where POS items come in. And just to take a quick look at that in OrderTrac, we can see that over on point of sale and POS items. And so this is going to be your list of inventory where you can create a new item. Let's say this item ID or this item POS item with a UPC of 456 we just made up. It's a floor lamp. This doesn't change. This is like more of a traditional inventory type tracking where currently we have 9 available, and every time you sell one, this is going to get deducted, and every time you order more and receive it, this is just going to get increased. And so that UPC is not changing. It's not specific to a specific physical lamp. It's just a general product that you sell. And so that's why POS items still exist, because that is still a good system for tracking some type of inventory, but it's just does not work as well for custom furniture, which is why the item system works very well for Amish furniture.